Hey folks, welcome back. Thought we'd check out the two reward tanks today, GSOR and the Renegade, and just they're not great tanks, but they are free and they're tier 9. So the question is, what can you do if you want to take them out to make them perform decently? And the answer is there's a couple of things you can do to make them, work for you. I wouldn't say they're awesome, but they can work for you. So you might have said me say in the chat down there, don't forget about mid. I feel like that is an issue a lot of times with this map in particular, is that people forget that it exists. So, and that can be a problem, right? So just for the record very quickly, to show you what I mean, heavies and hold downs are of course going to go up this way. And that's where they should play. TDs often set up back here. If you got a fast TD, you can pull it here. Occasionally someone will be brave and set up here in the corner. But all of this really is about this, right? All down here. Your mediums, of course, are going to go this way. But that often leaves this entire section right here completely wide open. And so I like to play there. And even though this is not a fast tank, it does have the ability to do that, which I think is intriguing. I'm going to try it out here, and it ended up working out pretty well for me. But what you'll often find on this map is there's very few or one or two people up there in the middle. And so for a tank like this that I know is not, a game carrier or a game winner, I can do it. So let's talk about setup while I'm trundling into position here. I have on this tank, especially with the holiday season, the ability to run large consumables and food as well fairly easily. You should have a bunch in storage just from doing missions and kind of playing around in the game of this holiday season. And you're going to watch this IS-3 up north get absolutely deleted. Just ran right into Conqueror, Contradictus, Grom, all sorts of things, right? Pushed a little too hard, too fast. So in this area right here, watch, there's two places you can go. I'm kind of going to show you a little bit of this positioning here that I think is important. If you're coming in from this side, let's clear the deck here first. There you go. If you're coming in from this side, you can see there's some bushes here that you can use to get a look and also pull back in behind hard cover. There's also bushes here you can use to get a look at hard cover as well. Why do you do that? Well, the enemy TD is often set up behind these ridges, and sometimes in this bush or over here, and this will give you vision basically on all of that, right? So you got this whole field and middle covered. Now, if there's some people down here where my 53 TP is at, you won't be able to see them, but as you can see, we've got a heavy down there, and occasionally you'll have a TD player that's up here. But this is a very, very easy. And then if you want to check ridge line, you can kind of do this as well. You'll be able to see at least a little bit. You can see peek through the house there. But this is a good place to be. You've got hard cover and you've got camouflage as well. And that's super helpful, especially if you're going to be poking your nose out, spotting things. And that is indeed what we hope to do here. So let's continue this replay. You see I come here first, I don't see anything. Looking around, you can see my aim jumping up and down. That's because of the fences. And I'm not drawing any fire though. I knock down the fences. I can move back to this position later if I need to. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to try this zone right here. First, I'm not going to knock down the tree. I'm just going to look. Not seeing anything, so knock down a little bit more. You can tell the RD's back there. Knock down the tree to give me a little more cover. I'm still not seeing anything. So this tells me that there is absolutely nothing in this midsection here. So this is kind of clear. That means all those guys are down here. And in fact, if you look up here, you can see at this point, everything but the SU-130 has been spotted, right? Green means it's lit currently on the map. Red means it's not lit yet, or it's not lit currently, but it has been spotted. And so the only thing that's missing is that SU-130, and I know he's not here. So there's a good chance he's up here or down here. That's one of the two places, which means this entire center section is wide open. There's nobody at all in here. So now I have free reign to play whatever I want. What I want to do is do what's most helpful for my team. And I can see this is an area where we've committed a lot of resources. I want to help us win that. And so I'm going to come up here, poke the TDs, get some side shots, do what I can to help out with my teammates. I'm going to keep my gun active, and that's where we're going to go from there. So watch. Now, I can do this in part because I've got view range kitted out on the GSOR here. So I am running vents, vertical stabilizer, and oh gosh, what's my third one? Vents, vertical stabilizer, and turbo, because both of the Tier 9 roller tanks are actually slow. They're 40 kph without a turbo. So you can see I'm coming up here. Look, I've got these bushes, right? I can swing right in here, and if you look here, see, the bush is opaque, so this guy's not going to see me when I shoot. I'm just lining up, and there's my first free damage shot of the match. He's going to pull back. He's not sure what happened, right? He doesn't know. He just knows he's getting plastered. He probably thinks it's from the T-54 or from someone else. And you can see the T-54 down back below me has come up as well. I've loaded heat here, not because I need extra pin, and this is not actually heat, it's HESH on the GSOR, because I want the extra DPS. With a higher roll, I could actually finish the T-103 with one shot. And so that's what we're hoping for, is I should be able to pin somewhere. No, somebody gets in before me. So, having seen that, it's time to move on. And I'm kind of pointing my gun. It's time for those side shots. The SU-130 could be back here, so I'm still going to use this, and I'm risking taking a shot. But I think it's worth spending the HP to help clear out this Malshin, which otherwise would be a hard victory, right? Now, see, the Gonk has noticed something is up. He's a smart player, maybe, or just a lucky one, and I do take a shot from him. But again, HP well spent. The Malshin is now gone. I'm going to take another shot. The GSOR has great penetration on its standard round, which is fantastic. And it's APCR, but still, it's good. This T-54 is posted up with me. We're going to share our HP. Either one of us could, more likely me, could take one hit. Now he bounces it. I don't know how he bounced that, but somehow he did. Probably off the angles of the mantlet on the T-54. He's going to try to reverse out, but too little too late. He's gone. Now we have the flank of everybody up here, and we're winning. The SU-130 PM has appeared on the map if you weren't checking it every 10 seconds like you should be. He's now south of me on that ridge, so I do need to be careful. He's back here. Right now, it seems like the houses have me covered, but I'm going to try and stay aware of that as we go through here. I'm going to risk it again, though, because I might can get this guy down to a one shot, and I flub the shot, unfortunately, and he pokes me. So you can see I'm getting pegged on my turret. This thing does not have great armor. There comes the arty. Here comes the next arty. Why are they focusing me? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Nonetheless, they leave me on 28 HP, and so I'm going to have the opportunity to do more on this map. And what I want to do is understand that I'm a one-shot, so anything potentially could kill me, and I want to get as much damage as possible before the end of the match. So I figure there's two fat, juicy SPGs down there. We've also got flank shots on all these mediums, but I don't want to take shots from them. So I'm going to stay behind this ridge line, kind of covering me off. And I'm going to post up right here, see if I can spot these SPGs. I also don't know where the rest of the guys have disappeared to. It's possible one of the mediums came back. I'm working with my gun there. Unfortunately, I've got not a lot of elevation on this thing because of the way the back of the turret rolls. There he is. There I am. He's gone. You notice I'm shooting off HESH rounds right here. Again, not for the penetration, but for the greater damage. I want to get just milk as much damage out of this match as I can. Hoping the other guy is going to show himself. No dice there. All right, 1:30 p.m. has shown himself. I've got the ability to shoot from over here. Literally everybody missed, which is hilarious, by the way. So I'm going to move in here. I want you to watch. You take your time with these shots, right? Like, I've got time. They've fired. I'm going to make sure that that arrow is right, as much of that over as I can. This is one of the places where people sometimes over-zoom. Like the 4.8x and the 8x is probably plenty for most of your shots. RNG is going to do you dirty anything inside of that anyway. And the Crom, like, how did you guys miss? That's a great question. They missed and they paid the price, right? They didn't take that extra little bit of time to make sure things were where they were. Someone is pointing over here, so I'm like, does that mean the list is over here at T-44 or what? But I'm going to risk it. I'm going to poke out. I've got 2k damage at this point, so I'm just going for bonus cash. I figure 2K is not too shabby in a GSOR. And I'm playing sniper medium now, right? There's no need for me to rush down into the valley and get pegged by something when I'm a one-shot. Let my teammates with HP do that. This Conqueror, God bless him, he's just charging. So I think, well, this guy's going to spot the SPG for me, but let's see what I can get over here first. Nope, T-54 is down. We've obviously backed everybody off. My guess is the SPG is right there. I'd post up next to the Hulk if I were smart, block shots, block angles. So I'm going to pre-aim there and just keep an eye on that little space right beside him. And sure enough, there he is right there. Let it aim in a second. And again, the Hesh round does what it's supposed to do. And 450 damage. We go. That's it. There's still a list, but he's cornered. There's no way this tank is fast enough to get there. But pretty good match overall. You can see a win rate of 2,700 for this. This tank actually, because it's so poorly played most of the time, it's really easy to do well in it in the sense of being able to get your damage up and get your marks up as well. So something to think about. We're going to jump into Tanks GG right now and just take a peek at it. So where are the things that stick out on this? There's a couple of things that stick out on this. One, yes, it does have some armor, but not enough for you to worry about trying to block things with. So don't worry about that. Just, you're a medium tank. You're going to eat damage when it comes to you. If you get bounce, it's a lucky thing, right? So what are the things that stand out? Well, it's slow, right? That's the first thing that stands out to me. Second thing that stands out to me is this, right? Which means it's got a really bad soft, okay, right there. What else stands out to me? This is huge. It's not unusual to see a tank with 20 here and 20 here, but most tanks, the turret traverses half of that. And this is where most people are having issues with the tank is, they're standing still, their sniper tank, they're swinging the turret around and missing their shot, right? Just not doing well. And then the other thing is this, the DPM is just horrendous on this, right? So these are all things that we want to work to correct. So let's see what we can do to shift this, to shift this, and to shift this, and maybe even this a little bit. And the other thing we want to keep an eye on is view range down here, because especially if you're a sniper medium, you want control over these vision stats down here. So now, assuming you are going to play this tank some, you're going to get some experience in here, and assuming you're willing to spend money on equipment, which you always should, you can do a few things here. Let's start first of all with just basic equipment. We know we want to run a turbo in this slot. 45 is not great for a medium, but it is better than nothing. Most mediums run about 50 kph, so this is a little on the slow side, but not terrible, especially since even on medium resistance terrain, we've got it up there, right? The second thing I want to do is run this vertical stabilizer. I want to get this down, somewhat at a manageable level. I want to start that. The best thing about stab is it's your starting bloom, your worst bloom is not terrible, and it lowers the, that sort of the potential size of the aiming circle there. Last thing is, depends on your crew skills. For me, I've got a very well-skilled crew. So I'm going to do this. This will help with this a little bit. This will help with this a little bit, right? Watch. Because it improves your crew stats, it's also going to improve your effective top speed and your traverse as well. It's also going to make your view range go up a little bit. So this is good. We've got our vents together. This is the basic loadout I would carry. In this holiday season, again, particularly if you've got premium and you should have premium time, you should be making more credits. I would run food on this as well. Now our view range is even crawling up there a little higher, and we've got even better on the top speed and traverse. We've got our aim time down, our reload time down has gone down a little bit. This is all helpful. So next thing would be, you're playing the tank, you're unlocking things. When are you unlocking? Well, you're unlocking engine power as you go. So you can see the HP going up, right? And it's 140,000 to get all the way up here. That may be a little rich for your blood unless you're a long-time player, so you may want to grind it out individually. But look what you can do. We can get our whole traverse up, which is what I would do. I wouldn't worry about damage penalties. Those penalties are severe anyway, so taking a bigger penalty is it's not a big deal, especially since we're going to carry consumables right here to help with that. So what I want to do is improve my hull traverse. Now watch the effective traverse down here, right? It's going to go up. That's good. It's helpful. Next over here, because of this stat being absolutely terrible and this already being great, we're going to work on changing that dispersion just a smidge. And you'll see it doesn't show here, but the reality is that's just because you're not seeing all the statistics. So if I come in here, do decimal place to 3 values, right? You can see I'm at 16 now, 15.5. So I'm halfway down to the next spot. So that's helpful. Now, usually I don't have 3 places, but just to show you that it is doing something, even though it doesn't look like it's doing something. So, but this is going to come into play with some of the crew skills as well. Next, I would choose probably concealment. You've already got a great reverse speed. Suspension repair is suspension repair. Your repair kit should be up, hopefully. If it's not, you're probably screwed anyway. So just go with the concealment. Make sure you don't get seen in the first place. Every percentage point lowers your spotted range by about 4.5 meters, assuming they have max view range. If not, it could be a little less than that. But even then, you're getting the benefits of them not having max view range, right? So this is helpful. This helps with that vision and control equation. Over here, I'm probably doing vision. Not that it matters, because for me, I'm actually going to put the vents here and the V-stab here. All right. So this gives me just a little extra bump here, a little extra bump here, a little extra bump everywhere. I'll take that. And then last but not least, because of the slow speed, we definitely want to do this as well. So now we've got it up to 47. That's decent. It's only a hair slower than everything else, right? As long as we're not on soft terrain. But our view range is down. We're struggling a little bit. So what would I recommend? Crew skills. The first thing I would always recommend is Brothers in Arms. If you can get a crew that can do that, do it. This is a premium tank in the sense that you can put any crew in it. So hopefully that's good for you. When you do that, you get some things going. If not, though, obviously your first skill on each of these, recon, situational awareness for these two. On this one, your first skill is usually off-road driving, because look, watch this. Effective top speed down here. Boop, right? No, we've solved that problem. This is gone. Basically, the off-road driving makes the soft the same as the medium, and so it's tremendously helpful, especially for tanks like this that have bad terrain resistance stats in the menu there. What else are we going to do? Well, you may have noticed this is still bad. This is a weak spot in the tank. So for this crew in particular, if you're training a crew for this is my first move there. And then here, you got a lot of options for what to do here. Intuition is probably the best one for me. Switching back and forth between those HESH shells and regular shells is really awesome. Definitely makes a difference. So I would do that, so I can just do a rapid change. But if that's not your thing, or for whatever else, this is always good. Extra damage, extra penetration. I mean, take it where you can get it. But for now, we'll just say we're going to do this. Always put camouflage on. Look, 15. Camouflage, we're going at 18 again. Another 12 meters plus, 13 meters plus before we're spotted. So already this tank is looking decent. Our view range is a little low. But other than, and our DPS is a little low, but we're a sniper medium, right? We've already fixed the speed, right? We've fixed the soft stat here. We've been able to change some things. These are the things we wanted to change, right? We wanted to change, oops, let me move this up a little bit for you. It really doesn't want to be where I wanted it to be, does it? Let's move this down a little bit. Okay, so we wanted to change this. We've added 7 to it, right? We wanted to bring this down. We have. It's about a second lower. We've wanted to change these. We did. Originally, this was 60 on full bloom, 60% penalty. Right now, we've got it down to a 46% penalty, so we've already improved this by 25%. Our camouflage is up as well, almost double, I think, if I remember right. And then our view range is significantly up also. So this is great. We've made good first progress towards this. Now, if you do have a good crew with a second skill of Brothers in Arms, something like that, boom, even better, right? View range is up. This is the biggest one, having the view range up, but this is all good. If you've got a third skill on your crew, obviously this is a good way to go. Now our camouflage is up. We're looking really sharp now. It feels good. This tank is comfortable. And this is essentially where my crew was, except for 2 things. One, engineering. So 48 on the speed, even better. And then you might have noticed ammo tuning right here. So can't remember what else I had, but there were things that don't impact quite as much. These are the biggest ones you want to deal with. So there you go. Now, look at our final overall tank. Looks great. Now, if you have all of this, if you're completely kitted out, you're ready to go, you got the speed, you may want to swap this division. In fact, I probably would, given the nature of the tank. Your reload time is going to go from 10.5 to 10.7. Not terrible, honestly. And then your view range is going to go above max. And the nice thing about going above max view range is it basically subtracts camouflage from other people. And so that's helpful. So we're over by 25, 26, which means we're going to get roughly knock 4% off someone's camo. That's lovely. We'll take that. So overall, not a bad tank. This is the big thing to watch out for. Give that extra beat of aim like you saw me do with the SU-130. And that will certainly help with kind of where the tank is at and playing it, right? So get the most out of this tank. Again, it's not going to give you, it's a reward tank, so you're not going to get extra credits for it, but good crew trainer. It's kind of fun to play. It's easy to get marks on it again because it's being played so badly right now. And this is certainly the way I would set it up and rock with it. And if you got a good skill, 2, 3 skill crew, definitely makes it shine even that much better. So there you go. Just some tips for running the GSOR the tank this post-holiday season, and getting some fix out of it, especially for training a crew, getting those extra 5Xs in and 2Xs in each day. It definitely has its uses. I wouldn't sell it. I'd hang on to it. And you never know when Wargaming is going to come along and drop a random buff on you, right? And again, wouldn't rely too much on the armor. You can see even the shields here are not that great. And people are just going to pin everywhere. So don't make the mistake of thinking this is a Super Pershing or something. It says it's versatile. It's really more of a sniper medium, and you can play it as such. But overall, once you invest in it, not a bad tank. All right. By the way, if you don't, right, you're still good. You still got max view range here. Your DPM is going to suffer a little bit. Your turret traverse goes down a little bit still. So, your dispersion factor goes down a little bit still, but you can run it without the food and still be okay in this setup with a decent crew. So if you do want to make a little extra credits, that's the way to go. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the GSOR and seeing a battle in it and hearing a little bit about how I set it up. I don't mind that it's an okay tank. I hope Wargaming's not giving out overpowered tanks for free. I like that we get a free reward tank. It's pretty interesting and cool looking. So, gosh, I'll take it, right? It's a good thing. So, anyway, you all have a great day. Enjoy your tank and plane battles. Good luck and good hunting to you. And I'll catch you on the next one.